Question is in this video, yesterday Arsenal lost 3-2 at the Emirates, and apparently there was booing going on from some section of the fans. I wasn't 100% sure if it did happen, but apparently it was questions asked. And question was the booing, fans, are they allowed to boo their team in this circumstance? Is it having a negative effect on them if you're doing that? Or is it just a case that, you just want to vent your opinion? You want to vent your frustration out? In that game, I think for me, the most frustrating thing was there's few things. Under the passes, were undershot, some were overshot, some were even getting to where they needed to get to. And one of the questions that came to my thought was thinking like, okay, the defense is doing very well. Yeah, the midfield does what it sometimes needs to do. But in terms of the creativity, what I would be like, if I was a forward player in that forward line, one of the questions I'll be asking is, if I'm actually trying to look for the ball and I'm going to make a run, are you going to see me in order to pass the ball? Now, you got Zubimendi there. You got Declan Rice there. So, theoretically, you got the ability, you got the passing ability to find those players. But the one thing I don't understand is like, back in the day when you had players like, Fabregas, for example, where you'll be like, you get his head up and you look for that ball, where there'll be to whoever it was. Or you have a Bergkamp, he gets his head up, looks for that forward pass, plays that risky pass. That's the key word, play that risky pass. If you lose the ball, you lose the ball. But it's better to play that pass rather than just going side to side, go left. Yeah, knock it to the right, now knock it to the left, now run down the line. Oh, yeah, you can't go anywhere. So you're either going to run back or you're going to hit it out for a corner. Oh, yeah, it's a corner now. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Now just recycle the ball and let's go again. That's basically all it is. If you want to play against Arsenal, just do that. Because it doesn't seem there's no chemistry in that attacking third. Yes, it works in Champions League, and this is the question. It works in Champions League, but it won't always translate to the Premier League. Because the Champions League, you get teams mostly that are going to go on the front foot. They're not going to low block it. Unless you're one of those very... To be very honest, even if you're one of those teams that are like smaller teams, respectfully, even then they try to play out. They still try to do, but sometimes they're not able to because there's lack of quality. I'm not sure in terms of how other teams in other leagues, how they play in terms of the lower the teams and whatnot. I'm pretty sure they implement a similar kind of tactics where you low block and you move forward. One of the other things I wanted to get across was Arsenal are so slow. They're so slow in attacking. They're so slow. Even if you saw it, I've seen it so many times where the ball gets played forward, yeah? And even if Raya says, all right, I'm going to get the ball, I'm going to throw it. Yeah, attack. If you go set someone to go direct, you're in on goal. Or take that advantage or do something. I think only one person that does it in this team is Martinelli. I think anyone else does. What they tend to do is they're in that space, but they don't attack the space. Yeah, they just slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, come back inside. Saka does the same thing, and it's annoying. It is annoying. Saka, as talented as he is, it's so predictable what he's going to do. So predictable what he's going to do. Apart from that cross they got, and I know that cross that comes inside, he does that. I understand that. Yeah, it'll work, it can work. But I'm not putting it all to him. There's clearly fundamentally something in this team that is off. The chemistry is off. Chemistry is off. When you play these teams and you get these kinds of results and you get these moments in games, you look to players and say, which one of these players are going to bail me out when it's not working out? And I go to one of those moments like Thierry Henry, when Arsenal got knocked out, I think, of the FA Cup. They got knocked out of the Champions League, and they went to play Liverpool at Highbury, and they were losing. I think they were 2-1 down. And he was like, well, someone's got to do something, and I'm going to take it on myself to do something. And I look into that team and I'm like thinking like, that's not just a mentality, that's more a player that's willing to take a chance and willing to take a risk. And there's different ways to doing that. You don't need to do that the way that he did it. You can be like, okay, if we are going to take a chance, let's play to our strengths. Get the ball into the box. You got Marino there. Yeah, Gabriel's still on the pitch. Take a chance. Take a chance. You don't know what's going to happen. Fight for the ball. You know what the other teams are going to do in the Premier League? They're going to protect the ball. They're going to get the foul. They're going to slow the game down. You don't need to slow the game down. If you're slowing the game down, the only thing you're doing is helping the other team. You're only helping the other team. And you're just basically shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Yes. I've seen Saliba go from centre back and he goes up to wide right. And how did you like yesterday? And I was thinking like, you're there and you're thinking you have a chance to either cut it back straight away or take a shot. He gets caught in two minds. And he's like, oh, okay, now I'm going to cut it back. And Martinez just sees that and just blocks in. I'm thinking like, you're just better off just taking a shot. You are. It's clearly this, like I said, this attack's not working. It ain't working. It's easy to defend against. You brought the players on that you did, and you got Eze, who was meant to be one of our like moments player, quote unquote moments player. Get him on the ball. What are you doing? Get him on the ball. It feels like to me it's like some of the players are like, someone needs to. I know you got a team that's gonna low block it. They got two lines of four, and whatever it was. I mean, it went to a five. Sorry, it went to a three back three at one point. Even when they were trying to, even when they I think they were 2-1 up or whatnot. And I'm thinking like, someone make a run. Someone do something. Don't stay static. Someone do something, and someone have the ability just to make that run, get in behind, do something with the ball. Yes, they're going to at that time, they're going to double up, they're going to triple up on you and whatnot. That's the reason why they tend to say, in order to get through that, you need to up the tempo. Where you also when you say back in there, where's the urgency? More urgency is needed. Pop the ball around more quickly. One touch, one, one, one. That way. Kind of best way I can describe it, like the doggy goal. Quick. One touch. Get into your feet and hit it. That kind of play is very, very difficult to defend. Very, very difficult to defend. And when you do that, when you do that, the other team doesn't know what's hit them. But in order to do that, you have to have that imagination. You have to have that risk. You have to have that creativity, that imagination to actually say, look, yeah, I'm going to do this. Play the ball. You're going to play the ball around quickly. But you can't just do that by yourself. Players got to play off of you. You got to play off of you. But that's down to Arteta. I mean, you can't. If I'll be very honest, you can't win a league. You can win a league, but it'll be weird. It'll be weird. If anything, if City was even half the team that they have been in the last few years, they're clear. If Liverpool were half the team that they were last season, they're clear. They are. It's not, I don't think it's that this team or this group of players are not good enough. I think there's a lot more to come from this team because I feel you can't go, apart from that 22-23 season. I mean, Shaq is in that team that's in there now. He used to be in the team. You still have that forward potency. So, it's there. But he has to. Is it? The question I ask is it the case that Arteta has to let him go? Or some of them just have to be like, you know what? I'm going off my own accord and going to do something. Kind of like, I think the very first time I saw that, and evidence I saw that, it was last year in the Champions League against Real Madrid, where Rice is like, I can see an opening here, so I'm going to take responsibility myself and do something. I'm going to take it on myself and do something. That is what makes a top player. Take accountability and take responsibility, take a risk. Because you don't take a risk, you're not going to do anything. Eventually you got to take a risk. You do. And it just feels like sometimes it's just like, it's like they fumble the ball over the line half sometimes. Like those 2 goals, it's just eventually just fumbled over the line, scrapped away. And it's okay if you score goals like that. It's fine. But what I would say is this team, I think in terms of open play goals, I don't know where I heard it, where I've heard it. So I think someone said apparently they're 16th or 15th or 17th or something in terms of open goals. And when that happens, that's, to be very honest, most of the goals that they should be getting in open play, they're getting in set pieces. That's where the offset's happening. And most of the goals, the crazy thing is, most of the goals they should be getting from open play, they're getting from set pieces. And most of the goals they're getting from set pieces, they're getting from open play. It's crazy, it's mad. Either way, you need to do better.